Okay, well, here we go. Second take, because I forgot in the last video to state how good I feel at every a trait. But the main point of the video, to me, that I think the speaker is trying to make the entire time, is how important human connections are and how effective they can be. The whole time he's emphasizing how he always tries to connect with other people, whether it be by saying their name, by looking at them a certain way, smiling, or treating them a certain way. But what matters is human connections, whether it be psychological, body language. However, it's one of the points, and he emphasizes how important it is, and that connects to empathy, to always try to be empathetic towards others, towards the world around you, towards yourself. If you see a situation, try to think, your empathy kicks in, and you think, how would you deal with that? If you see somebody who's down, your empathy kicks in, and you think, why are they feeling that way, or how can I help? If you see me looking up, it's because I'm looking at I listed the 8 traits, just because I know I'll forget them. Identify your emotions. So this one is all about, it's the beginning part of emotional intelligence. First, you have to look in and see how you're feeling, why you're feeling that way, and how to deal with it. And only then can you start being emotionally intelligent. I think I'm decent at this. I sometimes tend to subconsciously block emotions. I won't realize I'm feeling them, or I'll ignore them. So I guess you could say I'm not that good. I'll only pay attention to the emotions I really want to feel, or that I know I have to deal with. So I guess you could say I'm not that good at it, or I'm good at it, but I choose to not be good at it. Take responsibility. So this is if you feel a certain way about something, and you're stubbornly feeling that way. Let's say you get an argument with somebody about it, and you say something you didn't want to say, you made them feel a way you didn't want them to feel, or you create an uncomfortable situation for both parties. Taking responsibility is reflecting on that, knowing and acknowledging you made them feel that way, or knowing you created a situation like that, and going back and apologizing if necessary, but making sure it never happens again. Personally, I'm pretty stubborn. I can be pretty stubborn. But I do always make sure to apologize, because apologize and make sure it never happens again, because I personally don't want to be in any uncomfortable situations, and I don't want anything to be left unsaid between me and other people, per se. Like, let's say I see him again, and that's the last thing that happened, so it'd be really uncomfortable. Find a role model. Finding a role model is basically if you're looking up to somebody, if you're in a tough situation, and thinking how they would feel, thinking how they would deal with it. Of course, you can't think how they feel 100%, because we don't always know how other people will feel or how they would deal with it, because every situation is different, every person is different. But just trying to be a little more like how they would feel, and it just gives you something. It's like a standard for yourself. I think of it that way. Do I have a role model? No. So I guess you could say I'm pretty bad at that one. I never thought about a role model. I never thought about having a role model to help me control emotions. That's just never something I thought of. But keep a thought diary. So this is basically, emotions pile up, thoughts pile up, positive thoughts that pile up is good, sure, in moderation. But when negative thoughts pile up, it's a bad thing. We sometimes people tend to ignore it, and we say it's whatever. But as the days go on, it's still there, and then it gets worse and worse. But when you write it down, you can basically vent it out. You can vent it out, and you can better express yourself. than just keeping it in. I tend to keep a diary, not just a thought diary, but a lot of times it is more thoughts than stuff that happened, 9 out of 10 times it is, but I'm pretty good at keeping a diary. I haven't lately, but most of the time when I write down, it'll be, I don't know, months of thoughts or emotions, or just, how I've been feeling recently. So yeah. Learn to be open-minded. It some kind of connects to, I guess it doesn't, never mind. But basically, learning to be open-minded is, don't always think you're in the right. Don't always think your opinion is the only one. Don't close yourself off to new things. Don't close off doors of opportunity, and try new things, do new things. Acknowledge other people's opinions. Try looking at it from their point of view. Try being in their shoes, type of thing. Personally, I'm good at seeing other people's opinions. If I'm ever in an argument, I don't like tell them, oh, I don't care about your opinion, or I don't like completely close my mind off to what they're thinking or how they're feeling. But when it comes to trying out new things, doing new things, I'm pretty closed off about that. I don't exactly like changing my life much, or how I'm living my current life, simply because I like stability. I like knowing how every day is going to be, or the range and how it's going to be. So if I, try a new thing out every day, or every week, or every month, it's not me. Embrace reality. So there are some things in life that we just must live with, how you look, your personality, your situation, if you have a condition, your condition. And these things can bring us down a lot, of course, because, we can compare ourselves to others. But if we must live with them, then be realistic, tell yourself, I have to live with this, embrace it, try to find peace with it, and don't beat yourself up over it, because in the end, it's you, it's how you are. I think I don't ever really much, I'm pretty realistic, but I don't ever really much think about, oh, I wish I was this way, or I wish I was that way. I'm pretty realistic with myself. I'm this way, that's how it is. Can't do much about it. If I want to change it, then I have to put in the work. That's kind of how I am. Pause and be patient. Pause and be patient is basically take a moment for yourself. If you're in a stressful situation, a confusing situation, take a moment to gather your thoughts. Think of what you're going to say. Think of what you're going to do. Think what's going on. So you don't say something you don't mean, or do something you don't want to do, or something small per se. I would say I'm okay at it. I don't exactly ever blurt out things I don't want to say. I usually keep to myself. So even if I'm feeling a certain way, like even if I'm in an argument, usually while I'm in the argument, I guess I'll pause and think. So yeah, I guess I'm pretty good at pausing and thinking, but usually I don't say it either way. So yeah, live in the present. Very simple. Can't change the past. We don't know the future. Live in the present. Enjoy it. It's only today. Tomorrow's tomorrow. Tomorrow would be the present, but you get it. Live in the present. Be in the moment. Don't stress over tiny things. And yeah. But while saying that, I'm pretty bad at that. I tend to stress about the future a lot. I don't so much look at the past. I get nostalgic, but I stress more about the future, simply because who doesn't? Okay, what was the other question? The emotional intelligence test. How was my score? My score was a 63 says neither low or high, nor low nor high. Did my score surprise me? A little. I always saw myself as emotionally intelligent, kinda. I don't really know this term too much. It's kind of confusing to me, but I always thought of it as simply knowing your emotions, knowing others' emotions, or not knowing them, but knowing how to accept them and how to listen to them. So it did surprise me a little when I said neither low nor high, because I felt a little like, well, that's not true. But to be fair, I want to say I didn't understand the questions, but I didn't really know how to answer them, simply because I don't exactly know how I feel about a certain question. I don't know if I feel a certain way or another way. But yeah, that's my video.